Welcome to today's guided inner wisdom meditation. I invite you to sit comfortably in a chair with a straight spine, your feet flat on the ground or crossed in front of you, your hands in your lap with your palms facing up, and your chin parallel to the ground. Allow your shoulders to relax. Give them a few rolls if necessary, up, back, and down. And close your eyes, and let's enter into this present moment through the breath. By taking a deep inhale through your nose, and exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing and letting go all the air. Again, a deep inhale through your nose, and exhale, blowing all the air out. Again, this time intentionally breathing in slower. Hold the breath. And exhale slowly with control, releasing and letting go. I invite you through this meditation to focus on something that comes up for you often. Maybe a repetitive reaction, a repetitive thought, a repetitive protection. What I mean by that is sometimes we'll react out of guardedness or defensiveness. Sometimes we'll react out of feeling like we're in the victim, like we're being attacked or we need to hide or shield and protect ourselves. Just notice if there's anything like this that comes up for you on a regular basis. Am I reactive or am I protective? Once you have an idea of what that looks like for you, moving into that curiosity mode, be curious about what emotions come up for you when you're in this state. What do you notice within your body? For example, if I am in a defensive, reactive state, I might feel a sense of tense or urgency rise within me. This need to fix or control or change something happening around me. If I'm in a state of feeling like I'm the victim or being attacked, I might go into this place of shutdown, withdrawing, pulling away, blaming myself, finding fault within myself. Just notice what happens within your body in this state of whatever you chose that shows up for you frequently. And if you notice two of them, just pick one for now for the purpose of this exercise. Visualize the last time that you showed up this way and experienced feeling this way. Maybe you felt attacked, dismissed, or shut down. Just simply observe and notice. How did you feel in this moment? What was going on within you? With this awareness, I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself, what was I believing in this? What did I believe about me? Once you have this thought, take a moment to identify all the times that you've thought this and how it impacted the way that you felt and the way that you showed up. Remember to take deep, slow breaths as you're processing through this, as you're becoming aware and connecting and becoming observant of these times. I'm helping you bring awareness of these moments because this is your nervous system's way of keeping you safe. It's a habit that you have learned that when somebody shows up a certain way, or when anybody shows up a certain way, your body relives that belief, sees it as evident for the belief, and you move into those emotions and you react from them. And oftentimes all we see is the reaction. All we notice is the shutdown or the yelling. We notice the behavior, and then we move into judging it and reinforcing what we are already believing that led us to that action. But all of this is coming from a habit. And all habits can change. So take a moment as we brought up this maybe painful experience or painful awareness. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, give gratitude for the awareness of your nervous system trying to protect you and the way that it does try to protect you. But now I invite you to shift over, setting that memory aside, shift over into a different perspective. A perspective that aligns with the truth of who you are within you, that spirit within you that comes from love and not fear, that knows how loved you are and how worthy and valuable you are. That your worth is never tied to what you do or what you don't do. Your worth can never change by what you experience or how you show up. Similar to a $100 bill that gets passed around, torn, tossed in the mud, in the water, and yet it still carries its same value of $100. Whatever it's been through, however many hands have dealt with it, whatever it's experienced, its value has not changed. That is the same with you. And while that $100 bill might be harder to remove those creases from its scars of what it's been through, by the power of the atonement of Jesus Christ, those creases within you, those habits you've developed, can be repaired and removed. So now I invite you for a moment to think of the most recent memory you have of reacting out of defense or anger an attack, or acting from a place of feeling attacked, defenseless, powerless, and withdrawn. Think of for a moment what took place. What were the words that were said? What was the experience? Identify the facts. The facts are not the thoughts or the story you're telling yourself about the experience or the words. The facts are simply the words that were said or the action that was taken by others, or simply something that had taken place in your life. Now remember, you are not those words. You are not the circumstance. You are not another person's behaviors or choices or actions. You are an individual, separate from all of that. And as you look at yourself, knowing and believing that your worth is not tied to that experience. And if you believed and you knew how loved and valuable you are to the Lord in that moment, what would you think differently? What would you see differently about that experience or the other person there with you? How would you feel and respond differently, knowing that you are loved? Notice how when you know and you're tuned in to believing that you are loved, you can respond and see and react from a place of love instead of that place of fear. That is the beginning of change. So take a moment and be open to what love looks like for you and for anyone else involved. When you know and believe how loved you are, how wanted, how needed, how seen and how heard and how understood that you are of the Lord, that He is aware of you. He is mindful of you. Where would you picture Him in that moment? What would He do? Where would His grace and His mercy be needed most? Place your hands over your heart and take a deep inhale. Exhale, giving gratitude for taking the time to tune in and be present today.